So hello and welcome again, Microbehunter here. Well, today I wanted to explain why food in tin cans, why they can be stored for such a long time. Because many people assume that canned food lasts because there is no air inside the can. And the idea is that without oxygen, bacteria or fungi, which might spoil the food, without oxygen that they can't grow. That's kind of the idea, and it sounds reasonable, but actually it's not correct, right? Because there are indeed many microorganisms that do not need oxygen at all. They're called anaerobic bacteria, and one of the most dangerous food poisoning bacteria, Clostridium botulinum, is exactly one of them. It grows best even without oxygen. Now, so if the absence of air were the reason that canned food stays safe, well, cans would actually be quite dangerous, yeah, but they're not, and well, if they're processed correctly. Now, the real reason canned food lasts so long is actually much simpler, because there are no living microbes inside the can to begin with. Now, during the canning process, the food is sealed inside the can, and then it's heated up to a very high temperature. And the goal is not to remove the air. The goal is to kill the microorganisms inside, and at the same time, of course, also to cook the food. Now, that is, of course, not trivial, because food is never sterile. Fresh food always carries bacteria and fungi, and some of them actually form resistant structures called spores. And those spores, including, well, of course, those of Clostridium botulinum, they can survive normal boiling at 100 degrees Celsius. Now, that's why industrial canning uses temperatures above 100 degrees, achieved with steam under pressure. And this process is called pressure canning. And this high heat kills. It kills bacteria, it kills the fungal cells, and most importantly, it also kills the bacterial spores, which are otherwise able to survive dryness and also high temperatures. And once that's done, well, then the food is sealed in an environment where no new microorganisms can enter. And that's actually the key biological principle behind all of this. Living organisms like bacteria and fungi that might spoil the food, they do not appear spontaneously. The microbes can only come from other microbes, and if there are none inside the can, then of course none are just going to appear later on their own. Now, that's why canned food can last for years, and once you open the can, of course, well, then of course the protection is gone. Then microorganisms from the air, from the utensils, from your hands, they immediately land on the food, and from that moment on, of course, spoilage can start. The bacteria and fungi will start to reproduce. They will start to form possibly even poisons and toxins, yeah, and then of course the food cannot be eaten anymore. So just basically, it's just like with any other cooked food. If you leave it out, then it's gonna start spoiling. So now, how long can the canned food last? Well, in theory, very long, because it's no microbial growth inside. But in practice, cans can corrode. They can lose their seal, or their slow chemical reactions over time can actually also destroy the food. And those changes are not caused by the microorganisms, of course, but by chemistry. For example, oxidation reactions, reactions with the linings of the can, and also the slow breakdown of food components. So the takeaway is this: canned food, is not preserved because bacteria are kind of choked by the lack of air. It's preserved because bacteria were removed completely in the first place. And that's essentially a process that has been discovered back in the day by the famous Louis Pasteur. And it's still used today. And that not only stores the food, but also keeps us safe. That's all from my side. I hope it was interesting. Hope to see you again in the next video. Happy microbe hunting. Bye-bye.